This is Gary speaking, and I am interviewing Lucinda and Gareth. I want to tell you that I've known this couple for quite a few years. I've known Gareth for many years, and when they were married I got to know Lucinda, and not long after they were married, myself and my wife and I were involved in praying for them because they wanted to have a baby, and so we were keen to pray for them. When the baby arrived, it was a wonderful experience, but after the baby was born and 3 months on into the baby's life, the baby was taken away. I don't know if you've ever been involved in a baby taken from you, but I've never been so directly involved as I have in this case with friends that I love, and the impact that that had on me, apart from them, was pretty drastic. So I want to ask them a couple of questions as to how they felt when their baby was taken from them. Gareth and Lucinda, can you tell us a bit about what happened? How did your little 3-month-old baby get taken away from you?
Well, it all started, we'll go backwards. When, like Gary said, when we first got married, we wanted to have a child, and we'd been trying for about 2 years to conceive naturally, and after 2 years of trying it didn't work, so we resorted to the IVF program, and partway through treatment we actually conceived our son, which I'll call Sonny, naturally. And so the pregnancy itself was very joyful. There was no morning sickness, there was no illness, there was no gestational diabetes. It was just a walk in the park. It was the most wonderful time. And Sonny was born in June last year, 2017, via not cesarean section, via forceps extraction, sorry. And when Sonny was about 3 weeks old, he developed a fever, and so we took Sonny to the hospital, and it was after medical imaging that we realised the forceps extraction had substantially damaged his right brain. And so a series of events happened. A governmental body got involved with our home, our family, and at one stage we were on 24-hour supervision over our care of our little boy Sonny. And then in about September last year, Sonny had a bout of vomiting, and we took him into hospital. We were still on 24-hour supervision, so at that time he was handled by numerous medical, nursing, medical imaging and other specialists, medical field specialists. So, and then, yeah, he was vomiting, projectile vomiting. He was discharged after about a week. And then the next morning he was not well again, so we took him back. He was still vomiting. They did a repeat ultrasound on his brain and found bleeding on the brain. And he was taken to a specialist children's hospital. There they found sparsely dispersed blood dots on his retina, as well as 4 fractured ribs. And so because of that incident, we're going to court to contest the allegations levelled at us for abuse of our child.
You didn't put anywhere in there that's the reason why they took him away from us.
Yeah, they took him away because of that reason.
I said before, have any of you ever had a child taken from you? And I guess I haven't been involved with a couple before, particularly a couple where you have been praying with them that their baby would come, and then 3 months after the baby's born to have the baby taken. The impact of that is so powerful. Gareth, can you tell us your reaction when this first happened? How did you feel about losing your 3-month-old baby?
Yeah, the week that he wasn't well, and he was vomiting, as Lucinda said, we took him to hospital, as you know any parent would. We concerned for our child, and we spent a long night there in the hospital, and yeah, he gradually came a bit better, but when he came back home, he wasn't well again. So same things, he's still vomiting, so we took him back there, and that's how he ended up in the hospital. And from the doctors seeing him and given the symptoms and whatnot, they put it down to a couple of things, but one of them was shaken baby, and they really aimed it at us doing that, and from that we knew that it wasn't us, and we became quite desperate through that situation, being told that we did something that we didn't, and we wanted a second opinion, as you know you would do from any circumstances that you feel that's not right. You always want a second opinion. So we were fortunate enough to be able to get a second opinion. It's has cost a lot of money, and from that second opinion, it looks like that it has a different conclusion to what the doctors from the hospital had said, and both doctors were both on the same level. They both had the same education, and came out with a different result. The one that said that it was us who pointed the finger at us to doing something wrong, shaken baby syndrome, was reading a report that was outdated, and we didn't know that it was outdated until we actually heard the other doctor's opinion, who also said that the other doctor that did it, that it was outdated, and the other opinion was far newer and a lot more understanding to what we could see had happened to our baby. So through any situation, we've been really desperate for any information that we can get. So we've been blessed with that, and has given us something obviously that we're looking for, that we can now fight with. We just need to be able to bring that to the court, and again, that's going to take a lot more finances, and it's taken a lot just to get to this point.
Yeah. When we talked about doing this interview, I didn't want to make it very long, because I wanted to try to convey to you that this is a real life thing. It's been harder for us to even do this interview than we thought. It's not easy to sit down and talk dispassionately about your own baby and to talk like this, but for the purposes of trying to make known what's happened, we've had to try to do it, and so we've had to go at doing it today. Bottom line is this: in August, coming up very soon, August the 5th, August the 6th, will be the commencement of a hearing which has taken 9 months to come about, because for all sorts of reasons, and in the meantime, this little baby has not had mum and dad with him. They can see him, but they can't hold him. Can you imagine what it must be like for a mother to not be able to hold her baby? And I'm not even going to ask Lucinda that question, because it would be too hard for her to even handle. But you mothers must know how it feels. If you could see your baby but not be able to hold her or him, Bottom line is, if you lost your baby and somebody said to you, you can have him back if you come up with 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, maybe even 100,000, you'd call that a ransom. I'd call it a ransom. That's how it appears to me. And that's the bottom line. That's how much it costs to get your baby back. Even if you've done nothing. Because you have to go to a court, you have to have it all heard, you have to go through the process, and you have to have the money. And the only reason we're having this interview is because that's bottom line. It feels like a ransom. It is like a ransom. I don't know what difference there is between that and a ransom. But that's bottom line. So I want to thank Gareth and I want to thank Lucinda, who struggled to actually even tell you what they've told you today. And I've struggled to even do this today. But we feel we must, because that is the truth. So thank you for listening, and thank you, and I hope and pray that you'll be able to help. The reason we don't know how much it's going to cost is we don't know how long the hearing's going to take, and the longer it takes, the more costly it will be. But thank you for listening, and thank you for having an interest.